All right. Well, welcome to another episode of the Backyard Horse Enthusiast. Today's guest is Katie Zook Hegge. Hegge? Hegge or Hegge? I knew I was going to mess it up. Hegge. That's cool. Where does that name come from? It sounds Danish or...
It's Swedish, Norwegian. It's my husband's last name.
Okay.
Zook is Swiss, and that's my dad's family name.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I just have a boring name, but that's okay. I could change it, but I'm not. Anyways, welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to have you here. Well, let's delve into how you and I became acquainted.
Yes.
You are what in the what?
I am an equine gestaltist.
So you're a graduate in Melissa Pierce's Touched by a Horse Equine Gestalt coaching method, right?
Yes, I graduated in December.
Congratulations.
Last year. Yep, thank you.
Wow. And are you pursuing anything else in any of her programs, like the facilitation or the grad coaching method or anything like that? Or are you ready to launch your coaching business?
I'm working on launching the business. I'm thinking about the GCM program, the grad coaching, and I feel that I just need to get the business off the ground first for a bit and have some more experience before I take on the master's program.
I hear you. I'm like, I might need a few months off to just like get my head wrapped around all of this. So tell me, how were you introduced to this program? Did you do a retreat? How did you learn about it?
I was living in Wisconsin at the time, and now I'm back in Colorado, my home state. But at the time I was living in Eau Claire and working as an assistant for a woman who takes care of plants. She was a friend of mine, and I'm a former floral designer as well. So she asked me to do this 5-week-long seminar type thing with a man who helps people figure out what they want to do in retirement. And I'm not anywhere near retirement, but I thought, what the heck? And so I did that, and he had a bit about Melissa Pierce's Touched by a Horse Equine Gestalt coaching, and a big light bulb went on, and I haven't looked another direction since then. That was back in 2016, I believe. And it took me a few years to get moved back to Colorado. And then I signed up and they were full. So I had to wait a semester before I could get started in the program. So I did some work with Julie Myers to try it out, which was amazing. And here we are 3 years later.
Wow. So prior to getting into this program or even hearing about it in 2016, were you a horse enthusiast? Did you have horses?
I did not.
Really?
I did not have horses. I've always loved them, and, would go on the little trail rides when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And would go to the stock show, of course. And my dad always said horses are dangerous and expensive. So right out from the get-go, I always thought, oh, that's not going to be for me. But now I'm a grown-up kid and I know better. I can do whatever I
want. Wow. So at what age did you get hit by the horse bug? Where that interest was like, oh my gosh, I'm so in love. I want one of these.
Yeah, as an adult, going to the state fair in Minnesota, and we'd go first thing in the morning to see the horses first, and I was just enamored with their energy and their presence, and something else entirely that I can't even explain just take me over. I didn't want to leave the barn. And and then started the program. And I had not expected to own a horse just yet. And then at the summit that Melissa has every year, when she has horses that come up for adoption, there was another horse that was brought in. Her name is Buttermilk. And it was kind of a last minute thing with Daylin, just who owns Buttermilk's sister, was pleading for someone to adopt her. So that just worked out. So now I have a horse.
Wow.
Yes.
What is so how long has this been that you've had Butters?
It's now about 20 months since she came around.
What's your favorite part of having her in your life?
She and I have developed a connection that I'm beginning, my awareness has grown that she really understands when I speak to her, and she can actually tell me yes or no. I'll say, left hand is yes, right hand is no, and she will touch my hand with her nose. And I've switched hands to find out if she's really, and she does that to let me know, which blows my mind. And
she's your hard horse.
Yeah. And the other thing I had happen the other day, she was in the arena and I wanted to get her out, take her down to pasture, and she didn't want to come out. She wanted to be with her buddies in the other pasture. So, but I stood there and I just envisioned walking her out and taking her to the other pasture. And when I did that, she went, oh, okay. And just come on. And then it was really easy to take her out. It's just.
Yes. You find that your intentions in your mind are what they see and hear.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I find that whenever I'm really honest with my horses about things that are going to transpire with, that day, everybody is so on board. If I don't, it never ceases to amaze me that it will create chaos in the barn. And you don't want 4 horses at liberty going, I don't know what's happening right now, but I'm not really sure. And it doesn't feel right. And who is that stranger right there? So especially when new professionals are coming, or new people that have never been on the property are showing up, I make sure that I share that with them. Hey guys, listen up. Here's what's going on today. And I'll tell you, 99.9% of the time, when I am that clear and that honest about what's happening to them, everything runs so quietly, peacefully, smooth. It's incredible. So the fact that Butters like, I heard your intention, Mom. I saw it. Oh, okay. That's what we're going to do right now. Here I come. It is so magical. And don't you feel like if more horsemen could just get out of their own heads and actually think about what they're communicating to their horse, that everything they do with that horse would be so much more peaceful,
yes,
connected. It's all of that. And without connection, you have nothing. And it begins with stuff like that. That's what builds trust. My mom's very clear about what she wants to do with me. Yeah. I'll do it. We're good. I'm safe. That's huge. What a blessing, Katie, for you as a first-time horse. I don't want to call you owner, but that's what the world calls it. A horse owner, a horse partnership. You have that innate ability to do that, because that's huge. And I can tell you, as someone who has competed, as Melissa would share with you, when you've been out there, gaining world championships and all of that stuff, there's a lot of great equestrians that are not great horsemen and that are not great partners with those horses. They look at those horses as machines and tools and a means to an end. And ultimately that horse suffers and that horse shuts down. It is not heard. Butters is heard, and
Yes.
she knows that. And that's why you have such a beautiful connection with her.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing that. I think
Sure.
more people, if they could get on that level, would have way better experiences with their
Yeah.
partners.
Absolutely. I think the awareness of their sentience is first and foremost, and also the philosophy that says if what you do is always in the best interest and welfare of the horse, everything else falls into place and you will be very successful. And this is a philosophy that I've also learning through a program I'm in, Equine Training and Management with Damien Ficca, which is under the Spanish California Nevada tradition of horsemanship, which is just all about what is in the best interest and welfare of the horse, and that's where my heart is. So
Wonderful.
follow that, and everything else is falling into place.
Indeed, indeed. And we'll be sure to put a link to that course that you're taking
Yeah,
in the description box. So anyone who's watching, if you want to know more about it, we'll be sure to have all the links to Equine Gestalt coaching method, to this link with this method of communication with your horse as partner. We'll make sure that you have all that. So obviously you're partnering with Butters to be your co-coach. What else are you looking forward to doing? What's the ultimate, like, where do you see yourself a year from now with Butters?
Oh boy. That's a really good question. I'm learning how to train her. She hasn't, because she's a former broodmare. She was a rescue. She was going to be sold for kill buyers, and they just didn't work with her a lot. So, and because she still needs to exercise, I've only ridden her 4 times since I've had her. So working with her in the round pen to keep her fit and healthy is really important, and trying to learn myself how to do that and teach her how to do that. It's very challenging. So she always wants to turn in with me immediately and connect. And I'm like, no, you have to go around in the circle first.
Oh no, Mama, if I stand in the middle with you, I don't have to do anything. How do you think I got this great figure of mine after 10 babies?
Yes.
Can you blame her?
No, I can't.
It's easier if I'm here in the middle. No, Mom, you run around on the outside. Oh my gosh, smart. She's very smart.
Yes.
My goodness. Are you happy? Are you happy that you're finally totally immersed in horse?
Yeah, it's amazing how it's definitely changed over the time, because it's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. And so you work that time into your day, and where some of my attitude about it before was that it is work and it is extra time and I'm really busy, and that feels sometimes overwhelming. But now it's changed to this is my special time. It's a break, and whatever challenges exist in there, it's still a break, and it's still learning, and it's always opening my mind to the new possibilities of what can happen. So it's definitely a positive all the way around, and I look forward to it.
Favorite part of the day?
Yeah. And there certainly are days that when I am working all day and I don't have time to get over there when she needs me to be there, my husband will run over and put her out or bring her in or whatever. And so there are times when I miss that for a day. I'm like, oh, I didn't get to see Butters today. And sometimes I'll just go over anyway.
Yeah.
Even if it's late, even if I don't have to work, I just go over and say hi.
Isn't it a wonderful thing to just sit and observe? You know, I mean, I have my horses in my backyard and I have access to seeing them from many parts of the house. And I'm still like a 5-year-old. Oh, I hear hoofbeats. Somebody's playing. I hear, you know, and I'm running from window. Oh, there they are. Look at, oh my gosh, look at them. And it's always the guy with all the emotional issues that started off. He's the one that initiates play 24/7. He can't play enough. It's like, will you play with me now? Will you play with me? It's all the time. And I'm still, like I said, I'm like a 5-year-old. I have to I'm sitting like in the window. Oh. And you learn so much too, just by sitting back, taking a breath and just watching them interact. And that's when you start to pick up on those little nuances of, oh my gosh, especially in a small herd, or even if you had a large herd, when you start to really observe and watch the little things like, oh, that ear moved ever so slightly, or the head cocked a little bit to the right, and everybody kind of backed off a bit, you know, and you can realize, oh, she's the alpha, this one's next in line, this is, and learning about herd dynamics and all of that is such a special opportunity that I'm so grateful that even as a child, I remember always wanting to just observe, to just hang out and just watch these beautiful creatures. And I used to draw from the time I was like 8 years old, sketch, because everything, especially their eyes. I had so many pictures, so many drawings of just horse eyeballs, you know, they're so expressive, you know, they have so much to tell you. So you're back in Colorado, Katie. What's it look like? Like, I don't know where you live in Colorado. I don't know what your property looks like, but do you think eventually you might want to have your Butters home?
That's the dream. And currently I live in Morrison, Colorado, which is about 30 minutes southwest of downtown Denver, in the foothills near Red Rocks Amphitheater. And it's a great area. It's we're in a regular suburb and have been looking at farm property for a long time, just monitoring Zillow and seeing what's going on out there. So there are some things that need to happen before we can make that step. But I am working on manifesting that place and having a couple of horses and some goats, maybe a mini donkey. The whole, that's the dream, to be able to look out my windows and see them there in some space with that mountain view in the background is that's where it's at.
Oh my gosh.
And to be able to do my work there in the coaching, which is phenomenal work.
Making a difference for so many people.
Yes.
And horses, because I do feel like, well, Ty, again, this gelding with all the emotional issues. I mean, he came with a lot of baggage, a lot of bad stuff, emaciated, cribbing collar. There's French cribbing collars, which have a head stall. This one was twisted leather embedded in his forehead. So he had a lot going on, and the other horses would not accept him because he was the weakest link. Now he's like I said, he's a toddler, he's a goober. They're just like, it's part of the family. We just love them. We put up with them too. We play with them. But every time he's exposed to someone who's had trauma, now I'm not coaching, I never would. The reason I got into this program was because of him. Carl had brought Melissa's book home. He met Melissa and Dana, Equine Affair. He brings the book home, was a gift from Melissa. I went, oh, that's nice. Chunk, right? I'm like, I'll read it eventually, like with all the other 100 books I've bought and haven't read. And then I had a friend come over who had gone through deep, deep childhood trauma. And she just wanted to meet the horses. She'd never been that close to a horse. And I was painting my bathroom. I'll never forget it. She's like, can we go out and just sit with the horses? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's make some hot cocoa and we'll go out there. So we did. And we grabbed some Adirondack chairs and we put them under a tree and we're sipping our hot cocoa. And the horses were way off in the field, totally ignoring us. And then all of a sudden, here comes Ty, like on a mission. He's like, oh, who dis? I got, oh. And he puts his jaw on top of her head and then starts leching and and she bursts into tears. She's bawling and I'm just sitting back there going, something powerful is happening, but I don't have a clue. I'm like, what? Holy cow. So he does this for like 20 minutes without exaggerating. It was a long time. Then everybody else comes over and they're working her over up and down. Again, I'm not in the program yet. I have no idea what's going on, but it's powerful. So then after about a half an hour or so, everybody leaves, the horses. And Hope and I get up and we go into the house and we're sitting in the living room and we're just sitting in total silence with this peaceful aura about us. And I'm like, do you feel different? And she's like, yeah, like I feel really peaceful. I'm like, yeah. So here's the thing. Up until that point, this is the 2-year mark of rehabilitating that gelding. The other horses, you're okay, but we're not really engaging with you, right? The next morning, I walk by the kitchen window to make coffee and I go, what? And I look. And Ty and Teddy are playing like stallions. They're rearing and nipping at each other. I mean, and it's play. It's not fight. Play and play and then galloping and bucking and then coming together again. I nearly died. That's how I couldn't find that book, Melissa's book, What the Heck is Gestalt? I couldn't find it fast enough. I'm like, oh, gee whiz, holy crap. What he did with my friend, how he changed her, how he lifted and released stuff from her, changed him. And he has never looked back since. It just incredible what this work does for human and horse.
Yes, I think so many horses out there don't have a purpose. Or they had one. So often you hear about kids who get one and they do 4-H or they do, I can't think of the name of the other organization that.
VOAG, there's VOAG, there's
anyway.
Pony Club.
So many things. And then the kids grow up and go to college and get married and they leave their horses and the horses are left to just stand around and do nothing and they don't have anybody who comes anymore. Their person is gone and grown up and forgotten about them. And this gives them a purpose. And there was a couple of years just recently, so it was about 2.5 years that I was volunteering at the Colorado Therapeutic Riding Center to learn horsemanship and to just get a sense for, that's a whole different kind of therapy with horses. But I learned a ton. And as I began to learn the abilities that horses have, they began to know that I knew and would show me more. So, before I had this, and this guy who's on this guy back here, that's Kermit. He was amazing. And somebody bought him, his owner decided to take him out of the program and wanted him back. And so now he lives somewhere else. But I got to take care of him for about a year. So we had a really nice bond and had an amazing experience with him shortly after my uncle died, who I was very close with. And Kermit just blew my mind. I was trying to groom him and he wouldn't have it. He would not have it. So I put the brush down and he proceeded to leech and lick from hip bone to hip bone all the way across, and leech and lick and leech and lick. It was,
whoa.
It was amazing.
Oh, it's like when they know, when they get it in their head, like I need to work on you. there's no stopping them.
Yeah.
And they do it. All four of mine will do it at once sometimes when I'll like in the afternoon, I'll walk into the barn and they're all like, and they're all doing the leaching, however you want to say it, at once. And they're doing it and they're working me over. And I'm like, I just get grounded. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Are we all good? And then they'll just settle into this real peaceful, like, okay, we're ready to just totally chill now all together. It is the most moving experience to have your best friends be so concerned about you and where you are and wanting to, ground you and release things for you. As you know, I am going through a life change here, and they have been so supportive and so loving and so patient with me as I figure out how to use power tools and don't worry, I'm gonna fix it. Maybe, I don't know. Yesterday I just about blew up the lawnmower. Yeah, well, I learned the hard way after I smoked out all the mosquitoes on my property and everyone else's in the neighborhood.
They're thanking you.
But they're just so cute. You can almost hear them going, oh, there she goes. She's gonna try it. Hang on, we may learn some new cuss words in a minute. Oh, yep, there they are. They're just so patient and loving about it. And it's so nice to have that support from, of all things,
yes
horses.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They're just so wonderful.
Yeah. I get that from Butters as well. There are days when I go in there and she is a chakra worker. That's her specialty. So I'll go out in her stall and sometimes she ignores that and wants food, and other times she'll come and start working it. And I just stand there and breathe and be. Let her do it, what she wants to do.
We are so blessed
to
have these relationships, truly, and to be aware of them. And I do hope that we can continue, and that's what this is about as well. It's not just about, oh, you have your horse in your backyard, isn't that great? Let's talk about that. That's important too. But sharing with the rest of the world, changing perspectives on, these are not machines. These are not tools. And they have, I know you've experienced the apology to Equus. And so have I, right? I mean, you just...
I bawl every time I hear it.
Exactly. Like sobbing, like, please, thank God nobody's video recording this because I'm losing it. Just when you realize what these beautiful souls have sacrificed for us and what they've been I could cry now, just what they've been so willing to do for us, and that we owe them this life of connection and understanding and love. And unfortunately, there are still people out there that are ignorant to this. And I do believe it is our journey to help spread awareness and bring awareness to all.
I believe that too. Yeah.
So, and with that, my friend, I thank you for being here today. I want you to know, so you have to pick a hat. I thought of you with this one. Anyone who does, wait, I got to get it in the camera. Where's the camera? There we go. I make these hats. All the grads going forward get a knitted cap that I've made, and it has the Backstreet Horse Enthusiast on the logo.
Love that.
So we've got gray and pink, and then it gets a little crazy, with blue and green, or you can go with black and green. Can't barely see it though.
Cute. Those are adorable.
What color do you prefer? We're going to send you one.
I think I would. What color is the green?
It's like a very bright.
Is it chartreuse? Or
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I'm not good with colors, so this is it. See how I
It looks
find it
yellow on
very-
my screen.
Oh, okay. No, it is a green. It is a green. Well, you think about it, and I can always make you one from scratch. I
Oh,
just
dear.
sit here and I knit hats on my knitting machines.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I
So
love
I
them.
would like to send you one with the little Backstreet Horse Enthusiast tag on it. So that's our
Love
way of
it.
saying thank you for being
Thank
here
you.
with us today. You are such a
Thank you
beautiful
so much,
soul.
Kimber.
I'm so grateful that Equine Gestalt coaching method has brought us together on this path. And I look forward to a future friendship with
Thank
a
you.
beautiful soul. Thank
Me
you
too.
so much. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Kimber.
Bye, honey.